I just filmed this whole video and then watching it after, it wasn't in focus. Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum, thank you very much for watching again. So today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to do my journey to Islam, my revert story. If you're familiar with my channel, my 2 videos that I've done, you'll know that I am a revert. If I look down, I've wrote some notes just to make this video a bit more smoother. So let's just jump right in. So I reverted to Islam in November 2015. I grew up a Christian household. Both my parents are Christian. I went to church every Sunday. I went to like after school little Christian club stuff. I was happy, content. First thing, where I grew up in England, there wasn't a lot of diversity. I wasn't really immersed in other religions or anything, so I was quite naive knowing about other religions, any information about anything. I'll stretch upon that a bit throughout the video. So I remember there was a time when I started secondary school, so when I was about 12, 13, I had a lot of questions about God, about faith, and I really took my own time. I think that someone of that age, it was quite, a lot of people around me were quite shocked. I remember my gran being very happy. She was quite religious. She was very happy how much I took out of my own time just to learn about things. So there was even at one point, so where we lived, we used to go to a church which was probably about 10-20 minutes drive away, and we always went to that church. And then when we'd finished that Sunday service with my family, I went by myself to another church that was on my street, just because I wanted to see how it was. But I remember I had a lot of questions. One of my friends started coming to church with me a bit because I was raving, oh, it's so good, come with me, and everything. That didn't last that long. But then growing up, my best friend from secondary school, she was a Muslim, and I didn't actually know she was a Muslim for probably like 1 or 2 years after knowing her. I thought she was a vegetarian because she never ate meat or anything with us. Like if me and all the girls we went out, she didn't eat meat. That's probably just because it wasn't halal. And I remember coming over to her house, and she had lots of like Islamic artwork in her house. Her mum sometimes wore a headscarf, and then I remember her starting to speak that her dad was, he wasn't a imam, he was a, what's it called? I think he just used to speak at the mosque, so he's quite a pious, quite a big person in the mosque in Plymouth. I actually had no idea there was a mosque there until really after I left. Then I moved. I moved from Plymouth to Oxford in 2011, I think it was 2011, when I was 16. Then straight away I could see how much more diversity there was. Let me just put it into perspective. Where I grew up and where I went to school, there was, in my year, there were 2 Asian people. One of which was my best friend, and then this other girl. There was no one else in my year that was any other ethnicity other than white. Moved to Oxford, then in 2012 I got my first job. I think it was 2012, yeah. And a lot of the people I worked with were Asian. When I say Asian, a lot of them were Muslim. I noticed this, I guess, when did I first notice it? Probably like in Ramadan, the first Ramadan. Actually, I met my other half there at my first job. And I remember during Ramadan at 8 or 9 o'clock, whenever it was then, you'd see like the big table at the front, and it would have like all the food and the juices, and everybody would be all happy and calm. I was like, what's this celebration every day? Like, I didn't understand because I didn't know. And yeah, so that's when they started explaining. He explained Ramadan to me and the purpose and everything behind it. And then I actually tried to do, I think I tried to do maybe a week. I don't know if I did a full week. But my gosh, I remember my first day fasting, I was such a horrible person. Now I look back, me and my other half, we just laugh about it. I remember it was like, oh, what do you want to eat? Like, very kindly, like, he was so patient, so calm. He was always asking me, are you okay? Like, you don't need to do this. And just like looking after me, and then he'd be like, oh, what do you want to eat? And I'd be snapped like, I don't know, like anything, blah blah blah. Like, I was so ratty and horrible. But you do learn a lot. Like, I would recommend, even just like non-Muslim people, I recommend to everybody, fast for 5 days. Set yourself a target of 5 days. So just set it to sunlight, or so when it's light you don't eat, don't drink, don't smoke, no gum, no nothing. But not just because of that, you will, not only will you take things, you will realise everything that you have, everything that's so easily accessible to you, but also work on how you are as a person. So like I said, my first day fasting, how horrible I was, because I didn't have these things that I was used to. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm intentionally going to be horrible. It's something switches in you, you know, when you're hungry and you're tired and you're thirsty and it's hot and everything. But I'd recommend it to anybody to do it. You learn a lot from it. You become a lot more grateful. But just try and concentrate on how you are while you're doing it, how kind you are. And still, I worked around food as well, which was a big thing for me. And some of you might know that I'm a big foodie. I love food. I love cooking food. I love eating food. I love any food. So it was a learning curve, to say the least. Now, alhamdulillah, I find it easy. Last Ramadan, which was my first Ramadan as a Muslim and everything, it was so easy for me. I found it so easy. The days weren't too long. Actually, the days timing wise were long, but it didn't feel long to me, and I worked all through it. Yeah, it was good. It was very easy for me. When I first started having lots of questions about Islam, going a lot out of my own way, because I don't think I was necessarily comfortable asking the people around me. Although I know that they would have been more than happy to explain everything to me. I think just the person I was a bit shy. Maybe I thought they would find it offensive that I was asking things. So I remember there were things that I would Google or watch on YouTube, and can I just say, Googling Islam or Muslims or anything like this, some of the stuff that comes up, it makes me sad. No wonder some people have this opinion of the way that they'll just read a few things and they're like, oh my gosh, like, they're crazy, or this doesn't make sense, or why would they do that, or anything. And you just can't trust everything you read on the internet. So that's another story in itself. So I started just immersing myself in it. There was lots of questions I had, watching lots of videos, scholars. I didn't buy any books or anything. Can I just say that I never thought, at that time, I mean, I was 17, 18, completely different person to what I am now. I never thought I would be a Muslim. Even when I knew, I wouldn't even say I was that religious anymore about Christianity, which was my faith. I had no shame in saying I was a Christian, but I wouldn't say I was particularly religious. And I believe there's a God, but I wouldn't say that I really practiced my religion as I should have. But I never thought I'd be a Muslim. And I remember even at the time my partner asked me, and I was like, no, I don't think so. But God has a plan. So in 2014, so I still hadn't converted yet, I did my first full Ramadan. And again, I love Ramadan. Even before, when I was a Muslim, like, I loved Ramadan. I loved being together with people, like my brothers and sisters, and I just really enjoy the time. Yeah, so that was my first full Ramadan. I started praying then as well. Learning lots about it. Even my other half started teaching me a bit of Arabic, learning how to write it, which was tough. But yeah, just thinking about it was really nice. So I celebrated Eid then as well, and again I loved it. There's something so like being all together, and the way that people looked after me, the way that these people looked after me, even though I was not a Muslim, it wasn't my celebration or anything, but the way that these people, they so went out of their way to look after me. Like, I haven't experienced that even like with Christmas with people that I know, you know, so that was really nice. So again, I started questioning lots of things similar, questioning God, questioning life, questioning where am I going with my faith. And then I think that's when I started to know it was only a matter of time before I converted. No one around me knew. I think maybe because I was doing Ramadan and I was praying. Nobody knew I was praying. It was just my other half. And I was just wanted to learn a lot. Like, I was learning, like, why do we fast? Why do we pray? All the different prayers and what they mean. Women and men's roles. Like, all the questions that anybody, even that they have outside of Islam, what questions they ask were the questions that I was asking. And luckily I had my other half. He gave me a lot of time, taught me a lot. And then up to I took my Shahada. I knew it was going to happen. And then one day my partner came home and I said, it's time, I want to do it. I want to be a Muslim. And I said my Shahada. And like I touched upon it in my first video, is that I felt so content. So content that I'd found Allah, and I just felt so good after I took it, and like calm, and it was great. I remember I got a lot of books and I was reading lots of watching lots of videos on YouTube from scholars and everything, and I'm just gonna either link them down in the description box or I'll put them in the video somewhere. They're 2 or 3 of like my favourite ones that I found really easy to understand. I'm English speaking, I don't speak any other languages, and but these 3 or 2 or 3 I'll put are my favourite ones that I enjoy watching. So the first thing I did was I got a book. I don't have the book because I got it on my phone, ebook. Was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his life, everything about him. Then I bought a lot of books, and I was gifted a lot of books. I got my first Quran with the English translation, and I got a book which basically just tells you everything from your prayers, your character, fasting, like pilgrimage, the pillars of Islam, and everything. That was a good book for new Muslims, I'd say. And then I just got a lot of just books about general stuff, but I just want to speak about this book. Actually, it's very good. This book I still read now, and it's one of those books that if you're not a massive reader, it's one of those books you can just pick up, open it, and just read that page. It's Happiness Every Day, 365 Daily Tips for a Happier Life by Safia Hassan. Sorry if I said her name very wrong. This is what it looks like. It's a great book. I remember I actually discovered her on Instagram, I think, and she was posting pictures of this, and I was like, I need to have this book. And it's just such a nice book. I'll just find a page and just read something out of it. So, day 350. Savour all you touch, see, hear and taste. Savour and appreciate everything you touch, see, hear and taste today with an Alhamdulillah, all praise and thanks be to Allah. Your daughter's laughter, the blossoming trees outside your house, the sweet peach you bite into, your living mother, the rain on your face, the warmth of your husband's hand in yours, the soft pillow you rest your cheek on. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continually reminded people to be grateful to their Lord. Grateful people are happier people and less prone to stress and depression. Also in Islam, half of inner happiness is to be grateful in good times, an act for which you will also be greatly rewarded for by Allah. And Allah will soon reward the grateful ones. Quran 3:144. It's just such a good book. It does make you happy. It does what the title says, you know. It's a very short story of my journey to Islam. It's a very personal story, so not everything is involved in it, but I kind of just got the generic gist of it. So I don't think that all of my videos are going to be... I'm still kind of deciding where I'm at with this channel. I wouldn't say that I have a lot of content to speak about religious stuff necessarily. I'm still a student of Islam. I'm not very knowledgeable on a lot of things. I've kind of spoke about my experience, and that's all I feel like I have to say about it. But if there's any suggestions or anything in particular they want me to do, I will, of course. But I think that I'm going to stretch on to something else. I'm hopefully going to be going travelling soon, inshallah, and I might do like a travel vlog. I might do a bit of beauty related stuff, maybe some hijab tutorials. I'm very like open to what content I'm going to be put on here. All I want is just anything you guys, any suggestions or anything you have, please feel free to let me know overall. So if you have any questions or anything, then please feel free to write in the comments and I will reply. Like and subscribe if you like my videos, and yeah, thank you very much. Stay blessed.